no action tonight. Is there a direction that we want to take?
Here's what I propose, right? I said it a couple times. I'll try to get it through it. We are not directing a return to full in person prior to the end of the current school year. We are directing a return to a full in person at the start of the next school year and for summer school this summer. And we're also leaving the door open if there are some innovative ideas about how we can use this idea, without causing a major disruption to improve the quality of education. Good enough?
Yeah. Ms. Galquin, does that sound pretty clear?
Yeah.
Any clarification on that?
You're on the board. Yes.
I'm in agreement. I think that's a very smart way of dealing.
Yeah, I agree, especially the final part of trustee Nimitz to try and utilize this and come up with innovative ways of just make everything better, make our product better.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what we'll do then. So, so then we're going to move on. I want to thank everyone for their input. There was a lot of input on this. It's a tricky subject, and it's one that is difficult to navigate. And I believe everyone wants what's best, and I'm sure of it. And we will all get there. I'm sure of that too. Anyway, thank you. Moving on, 12.3.
All right, good morning. It's the Morning Buzz. It's Friday, March 26th. I just played the clip from kind of the last portion of item number 12 on last night's school board meeting. Basically, the audio's really low, so I'm going to try to see if I can boost it up and play it again so you guys get the gist of it. But yeah, it was a long discussion last night about what's going to happen throughout the rest of the school year. Lots of parents and community members weighed in the form of letters, and so there was a lot of letters read. There was a lot of public comment that were actually in attendance. There was a ton of people in attendance, I noticed, so that was a good thing for our community to have that much involvement. But I'll play this clip again. I'll try to boost the volume so that you guys can hear really the gist of what went down. I got up early this morning and I re-listened to the entire section 12 or item number 12 on the agenda, and this is the clip that's the very end. Again, it wasn't an action item. There was no action that they needed to take. They wanted to discuss it, and then here's the end. I'll play again.
There's no action tonight. Is there a direction that we want to take?
Here's what I propose, right? I said it a couple times. I'll try to get it through it. We are not directing a return to full in person prior to the end of the current school year. We are directing a return to a full in person at the start of the next school year and for summer school this summer.
So they're saying they're not directing. Let me back that up here so we really get a clear picture of what they're saying.
To the end of we are not directing a return to full in person prior to the end of the current school year.
So they're not directing a return to full in person prior to summer school and next year as of now. And so, but you go on to listen. They say they do leave room there for innovative ideas and other things that might change that. So here we go.
We are directing a return to a full in person at the start of the next school year and for summer school this summer. And we're also leaving the door open if there are some innovative ideas about how we can use this idea, without causing a major disruption to improve the quality of education. Good enough?
Yeah. Ms. Galquin, does that sound pretty clear?
Yeah.
Any clarification on that?
You're on the board. Yes.
I'm in agreement. I think that that's a very smart way of dealing with it.
And forgive me, I recorded the audio of the meeting itself specifically so I could listen back to it and then take bits and pieces and analyze it and obviously share it with you guys this morning. But what I didn't do was write down who was speaking when, so I don't even want to speculate as to who's commenting and who's speaking here. But so I'll continue to play this, and you can hear at the end where they do leave it open here.
Yeah, I agree, especially the final part of it, Trustee Nimick said, to try and utilize this and come up with innovative ways that we can just make everything better, make our product better.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what we'll do then. So, so then we're going to move on. I want to thank everyone for their input. There was a lot of input on this. It's a tricky subject, and it's one that is difficult to navigate. And I believe everyone wants what's best, and I'm sure of it. And we will all get there. I'm sure of that too.
All right, so that's kind of the gist of it. But so basically, there was no action, right? There was discussion, and they said, let's just keep, for the most part, let's stay the course of focusing on in-person instruction in the summertime, and then full in-person instruction leading into next year. And so, yeah, one of the guys, one of the people that commented was Eric Lewis, and we have Eric on every Wednesday to do our history lesson. We love Eric, but he is, I think he said 25 years in the district or something like that, as a teacher, as an administrator. He was most recently obviously the last principal of the high school, but now he's back in the class. He's had 5 children go through the Templeton school system. He said that he is an advocate for getting back to school. And here's a quote: by not letting kids, and this is in regards to last Friday at the football game, right? If you're at the football game, you saw kids lined up along the outside of the fence, and nobody was social distancing, nobody was wearing masks. And so he's saying, by not letting the kids in, we lost the ability to control that situation. So that's an interesting point. And the dirty little secret, nobody wants to come out and say it. And I'm certainly not the type of guy that's going to get political. But these kids are hanging out with each other. They're all together all the time. So that's kind of the elephant in the room, right? That the kids are all together anyways. Why not maximize the amount of time we control their interactions? I don't know, just a thought. Yeah, I mean, there was a couple different times. There was a reference to SB 98, which is an assembly bill. I tried to kind of through that this morning as I was listening, but SB 98, the reference to SB 98 was that there is a assembly bill that it's basically a law that mandates in-person learning to the maximum extent possible, right? And so one of the ladies that had the public comment regarding SB 98, was in so many words basically saying, the school district is potentially opening themselves up to a lawsuit that in violation of SB 98. So that's kind of the takeaway that I had from it. But yeah, this is a tricky situation. And look, I don't think there's anybody that's doubting that the administration and the staff and the leadership of the district wants what's best for the kids. It's just interpreting what that is and what are the steps that they need to take to do it. And so, yeah. So I posted the link on the Morning Buzz page this morning, but I'd be interested. I'd like to get some public comment, and anybody that wants to weigh in there, I posted it in the chat as well. Again, if you guys want to weigh in this morning and pop on, you can it's a video stream, right? So what you can do is click on the link and turn your camera down if you don't want to be seen, but you want to be heard. By all means, I invite you guys to use that link to jump on and use this public forum, right? So the Morning Buzz is a show that we started 3 weeks ago. It's meant to be a platform for you guys, the community, for us to share news and information and thoughts and opinions focused on positivity and community, obviously, right? But the reality of the situation is this is a here now, let's call it what it is, right? This is a crisis of our children that we are working through together, trying to find answers. And so, the goal of the show wasn't to use this as a platform to have this big public uproar. But that being said, I also want to make sure that you guys know that this is a platform that we can use together to let our voices be heard. And so the link to join me in the discussion is there. Obviously, the chats are up too, so the comments are up. So if you guys want to just leave comments, you're more than welcome to. The Morning Buzz, 3 weeks into it, we've got the show is averaging anywhere from 3 to 20 people watching at any given time. But usually in a 24-hour cycle, it's got over 1,000 views of each show. And so people are watching the show. People are sharing it. People, the people that are coming on to be guests on the show are bringing value to you guys. Hopefully, the conversation that we engage in is bringing value to people. So I'm encouraged by that. I'm enthusiastic about it. And this is one of those times where we have the opportunity to really just use the tools that we have available to us, right? And fortunately, we've got the tool of social media for us to be able to connect with each other and share ideas and share thoughts and really direct change if we want it, right? And so I think we've seen evidence of that over the last year for sure. And so, the Morning Buzz is a place where you guys can feel free to express your opinions and voice your thoughts. So again, if you're just joining us, good morning. My name is Mike Brady. I'm the host of the Morning Buzz. We do this show every single Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. We open the show not with music this morning, but with the school board meeting excerpt from last night. In case you're just joining us, I'll play that again here shortly. But real quick today, we've got a good show. We've got Mr. Mack on at 7:30. We've got potentially a special guest that might talk a little bit about some football here at 7:30 also. Templeton Historical Society, Jeff and Greg are going to join us at 7:45. And then we've got a Templeton baseball update. I think we've got one of the players coming in to chat with us about what the season's looking like. Melissa Johnson's going to be doing her morning update or weekly update for us. And then Mr. Mike Brenler, he's the gentleman that takes all the pictures at the Templeton High School football games and other sporting events. He's going to be on with us as well, talking about what he's doing. And then Shauna Soltero is going to be talking about the virtual Easter egg hunt and maybe some boys soccer because she is a real life soccer mom. Yes. And then as always at 7:15, 7:55 and 8:55, we have news updates with our good friend Anthony Reed from Paso Robles Incidents and Actions. He runs that Facebook group. Here he is right now. That Facebook group, by the way, has 6,000 plus followers, and Anthony is doing a great public service for all of us, kind of sharing real time all of the things that are happening in the North County and really kind of all around the Central Coast. So good morning, Anthony. How are you?
Good Friday morning to you, Mike. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Thanks, man. Good to see you.
It's good to see you as well. It's good to be seen, as my dad says.
Any big plans for the weekend?
You know what? Not as of now. Just kind of just laying back, chilling with the family, and have church on Sunday, and then just kind of enjoy the 82-degree weather that's going to be happening on Sunday afternoon. So
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
it's looking pretty good for Sunday afternoon.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love that. All right, do me a favor. Give everybody a rundown. Okay, I'm sending an
Good morning, everybody. I'm Anthony. For those of you that don't,
continuing to move towards that by some. From what I got from it, it's highly unlikely. You know, it's funny. The voice them were. Well, let me back up. Most of them that I heard were focused on pushing to get these kids back to school. They're the school. Full in-person learning as soon as possible. And so if you had a chance to listen to it, Eric Lewis, the kids are together anyways outside of school. They're not social distancing. They're not wearing masks. That we can control their environment. And at least we have in person, at least we have the ability and opinions if anybody wants to weigh in on at the end, how we react, how we respond, the act behind us. And so we've got to keep that in mind, right? And nobody again is disputing the fact that they are working their tails off to make sure that they working their tails off to do what's right for the kids. So it's yeah, it's interesting. Let me just finish this clip for you guys.
Yeah, I agree, especially the final part of it, Trustee Nimick said, to try and utilize this and come up with innovative ways that we can just make everything better, make our product better.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what we'll do then. So, so then we're going to move on. I want to thank everyone for their input. There was a lot of input on this. It's a tricky subject, and it's one that is difficult to navigate. And I believe everyone wants what's best, and I'm sure of it. And we will all get there. I'm sure of that too. So, anyway.
Yeah, so there it is. He is right. Everybody does want what's best. Matt McFarland saying that the speaker making the motion was Trustee Jan Nimick. Okay, so again, I don't have that information in front of me, but that's what Mr. Mack is saying. So Mr. Mack's going to come on here in 5 minutes, so we're going to check in with him to talk about all things Templeton activities. We've got tonight's Friday. What's going on at the school? We've got football. I do know that he's going to fill us in on anything else going on. We do have Young Frankenstein, which is the drama production that's happening tonight. And again, tomorrow night is the closing night for Young Frankenstein. That's been a 2-week run for them that they started last week, and they're finishing up this week. It's outside in the quad area, socially distanced, so it's super safe for you to go and watch that. It's Young Frankenstein by Templeton drama department being put on. So really tonight's Morro Bay, right? And so Morro Bay is the Morro Bay Templeton rivalry. And look, I don't want to just push aside the school board meeting and the discussion about that. We're going to talk plenty about that, but I'm trying to shift gears here for a minute to kind of focus on the here, the now, what's going on. And really what's going on for us is a big rivalry night for Templeton High School versus Morro Bay. And so this is a 14-year run that we've had with Morro Bay. The series is tied 7-7. It's the clash of the coast. There's even a trophy at stake. I mean, this is a big deal. I couldn't tell you when yeah, I mean, it just gets really heated. And so when the stands are fully packed with parents and teachers and school and students and fans, community members, that Morro Bay rivalry game is nuts. I mean, it's loud. There's so many emotions on the field. It's a fun rivalry, and yeah, it's fun. Tony Domingos, any decision on attendance to outdoor sports? I'm hoping that we're going to get a little more clarification. I did post last night on the Morning Buzz site. Let's see here. Matt McFarland's in the waiting room. I just let him in, so he stepped away. But last night I posted there was a a letter that went to. Let's see if I can pull this up here. Coach Farley posted an update about attendance to school sports, and so I'll share this. It's on the Morning Buzz site, but basically he's saying since last week, we put in place an interim solution for the roller coaster of changes that were frequently occurring. Moving forward, this is as of last night, right? Moving forward, as we continue to await additional guidance from CDPH and to align with all San Luis Obispo County districts, 20% of our stadium capacity, please see chart below. And he's got a chart down here. Again, you could find this on the Morning Buzz Facebook page. There's the chart. All attendees, okay, so 20% of our stadium capacity that belongs to student athletes' household will be allowed as spectators for outdoor events. All attendees must follow the appropriate safety precautions in place, including 6-foot physical distancing, proper mask use, hand hygiene, etc. Once again, it's our intention to revisit this topic when additional guidance is made available and align our policy and practice with hopefully positive updated CDPH regulations at the time. So here's the chart, right? So baseball, home fans allowed, you have 2 per player, per athlete. Visiting fans, 2 per athlete. Football, 2 home fans per athlete, 2 opposing fans per athlete. Soccer, we have 4, right? The reason why there's a uptick in the number for soccer is because I want to say it's because there's less staff, there's less cheerleaders, there's so it allows for more fans. And Mr. Mack, you can clarify that. Is that the case?
You're gonna have to tell me the very end. I heard the beginning, but I didn't hear the end.
I was saying the reason why there's more fans allowed per player in soccer is because it's traditionally a less staffed event. There's less cheerleaders. There's less people. And football has what, 50 people on the roster, 45, 50?
I think that's the biggest factor right there, Mike, is the number of players on the field, or the number of players on the team, so you can expand the number because they have less players.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the chart. Yeah. It's so last night at the school board meeting, yes, they did discuss it. I don't believe there was any action taken to change anything as of now. The bulk of the discussion last night was focused on return to in-person learning. That was really kind of where the meat and potatoes of the discussion was. So, Mr. Mack, how are you?
Hey, I'm great. It's Friday, man. Gotta love Fridays.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to get any updates on the meeting last night yourself?
You know, Mike, what I know from you, because where else would you get your source of unbiased community information? So I appreciate you following up on that. I'm sure we'll be hearing from the staff will be hearing from Mr. Aston at some point today to be updated. Kind of disappointing though, but I was appreciative that the motion left open if anybody had any innovative ideas. The idea is like getting our kids back on campus, right? But
and did you hear Eric Lewis? I wish I would have saved that clip. But Eric had the idea of keeping the schedule intact the way it is, but getting rid of the cohorts, I guess, right? To bring everybody back. I don't know.
Right. Keeping the same schedule, and just, you know, the thing is and I don't know all the ins and outs, you know, and I realize that everybody is trying to keep everybody safe and, you know, do what's best for everybody involved. So totally understand that. And we got to show grace to everybody, especially those making the decisions, because they're in a tough spot. But that being said, if the majority of people want to come back, maybe there's a way. Maybe the innovative idea is those people who feel comfortable, whose parents feel comfortable, with them being back on campus, they come back on campus. And those that feel more comfortable in distance learning, then maybe they stay in that. So
Yeah.
my opinion.
I don't see why that would be an issue. Hey, Tony Domingos posted. He's got a great point. Baseball should be no different than soccer because there's so much room on each foul line for parents, fans to socially distance, set up chairs, do all of those things.
And Mike, I don't know. I haven't talked to Coach Farley about baseball, but I do know that Paso. If you look in the Paso Robles news, I think that's where it was. They listed Paso had divided up by venue how many people they would have, and I believe that they specified their number based on having the lines like Tony talked about, and have people spread out, bring their own seating, and spread out socially distanced. So you could get more information on that on Paso Robles Daily News website because they posted a press release from Paso. I don't know if it was from the school district or whatever in Paso, but somebody released that official document that laid out specifically how many people and at what venue.
Yeah, I do think it was it might have been the Paso Press actually, but I'm going to look for it. You start talking about what's going on campus.
Yeah, well, we want to celebrate with our girls tennis team. Last night they had it was senior night, kind of a last minute senior night because yesterday afternoon Coach Farley got a call that Pioneer Valley decided that next week they're not going to travel. So if we want to play them, we got to play them twice down at their place. Those are the last two games of the season, and one of those was going to be our senior night. But last minute, the parents and Coach Nicole and Coach Farley threw together, our little celebration of our seniors, and then they took that and they whooped up on Mission Prep, who, to be honest, was supposed to be the biggest challenge to our undefeated season. Beat them 9-0, and now the team is 10-0. And Mike, I don't want to. Anyways, Emma Zuabi, who I was telling you about, freshman. Yeah, she played in the number 1 singles slot last night and won in straight sets, 6-0, 6-4. Solid performance. And then partnered up with senior Madeline Murray to play the number 1's doubles, and they won that too, as did everybody last night. Everybody won, making it 10-0. 10-0 for them, 9-0 last night in the match. So we had that, and then we had soccer, guys soccer, shut out Napomo 3-0 on the road. So that's great. Lucas Hammer had 2 goals, and Abe Glossner had 1 to fill out the scoring. The girls, however, they took a tough loss at home in their home opener, 2-1. And the only goal for us there was Lauren English. So
that's a bummer.
Yeah, and that was Napomo as well. I believe. Lauren scored from a cross from Marion Grinley, and scored the only goal. Had a lot of shots on goal, and a lot of energy, but Napomo goalie. In fact, Coach Wells said player of the match was a Napomo goalie who blocked a bunch of point blank shots at the goal. So.
Wow.
Tough. Outside of sports, we've got elections, ASB elections wrap up today at 12:45 with the close of school. And all the students are voting. They opened yesterday, closed today, and we'll see how that goes. Link Crew's got finishing up a water balloon toss competition today at right as school ends. And you said drama. Way to go, drama. They're the show but they continue tonight, and then the show closes after tomorrow's performance. And then, of course, football tonight. Whoop, let's go. Mike, you were talking about fans. You know, if you're looking down at the goalposts, down the south goalpost, I'm just going to bet that there's some of our faithful fans are going to be on the other side of the fence watching the game as they did last week.
And I will quote Eric Lewis, by not allowing the kids in, the school has lost the ability to control the situation, right? And so that's just, it's an interesting point he brought up that really I hadn't thought about, but not to go back, and talk more about this, right? But yeah, I mean, you would think that we would want to maximize the amount of time that we have control of how the kids are interacting with each other, because that's what's going to keep everybody the safest.
Right.
So anyways, hey, I did find the news article about the spectators in Paso. Barnhart baseball field, 2 spectators per participant, seating and standing room in the area behind the dugouts, and between the dugouts. Other spectators can sit in. So they say other spectators can sit in personal seating and stand along the right and left field lines. So they kind of make it seem like, in addition to the 2 spectators per participant,
Right.
they're open to other spectators as well.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. Like in the permanent seating, that's where the 2 per player are going to sit. I mean, that's how I read it. And then down the lines, as they social distance, other spectators can attend.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Laura Aradre posted in the chat. Hold on real quick. I'm going to grab something. She reminded me to bring the T flags tonight. We have T flags for sale. They're $37.50. You drive down Main Street in Templeton and you see all these flags, these big green flags with the big T on them. These are the T flags. We have them for sale. It's a fundraiser that supports the THS Culture Initiative. That's a nonprofit that is basically a nonprofit that supports kids who aren't otherwise supported by other organizations, right? It's kind of like the boosters for kids that aren't represented by any boosters. They do cool things like buy prom dresses for kids who can't afford it. And what other things do they do, Mr. Mack?
Oh man, in a normal year, and a normal year is when actually all the kids are back on campus, but in a normal year, we have they'll fund barbecues and incentives that are given away. Staff member of the month, freshman of the month. They do a lot of things. They fund motivational speakers and things that might otherwise fall through the crack that really impact our culture on the campus.
Yeah, no, it's an awesome group, and I'm happy to be a part of it. You invited me into it last year. It's a really fun organization to be a part of. Lots of motivated people, and in fact, a couple of the people that are on the board of that are retiring from the board. Right, they're moving on because their children have gone through the schools, and they're no longer parents in the district, and so. Culture Initiative is always looking for parents to get involved. If you do want to get involved with Culture Initiative, you can email me, morningbuzzaroundtown@gmail.com, or of course you can always hit up Mr. Mack. It's mmcfarlane@templetonusd.org. So that's his email address. Hey, did you know that at 7:45, Mr. Mack, we're going to have the Templeton Historical Society joining us?
That's sweet.
Have you ever been down to the place downtown?
Buy the big milk bottle?
Yeah,
That's great.
it's awesome, right?
Yeah. Hey, Mike, before I have to go, what's the temperature going to be at tonight's game?
Hey, you got 3 minutes. We got 3 minutes before we have to kick you out of here.
2.5-minute pitch here.
It's going to be about 55 degrees at 9 o'clock.
Okay, a little chilly. So, Mike, I got an answer for you. New in the Spirit Shack tonight.
Ooh.
Sweatshirts. Wow. Okay, I'm throwing that off. Woo. Okay, Templeton football sweatshirts, but that's not it. On the back, show your colors. Now, this is cool. It's not a Templeton T flag. Okay, so it's not that, but it is the American flag flying on the back of Templeton football, and this is a nice heavy sweatshirt. So if it's going to be cold, even if it's not, you want to support the boys, we got these in the Spirit Shack for you.
That's awesome. What's the price? Do we have a price?
That's a great question. We just got them in, so they'll be priced down there. I'm not sure exactly what they are. We also have some crew necks that are that just say Eagles on the front, and those are $18.
Awesome.
But Mike, you know what? I know you got your historical society coming on, but you know who just walked into my room? Yeah, it's Trent Wills, and he's gonna in about 15 minutes or so, he's gonna come back and he's gonna jump on and talk to you all things baseball.
We love Templeton baseball. Absolutely. Yeah. Trent is a senior this year. He's a great kid, somebody that I've gotten to know over the last year through being friends with my kids. So Trent's awesome. Can't wait to have him on to talk baseball. I love baseball. I was a student athlete. I played baseball at Paso. Again, if you haven't heard the story, I have the distinct honor of being the pitcher that allowed the very first home run at the baseball stadium in Paso High. So that's
and Trent is related to you too, right?
Yeah, he's my stepson. Exactly. No, I had to sign a waiver for him when he went snowboarding once, and I had to say that he was my stepson. Otherwise, they wouldn't let me sign the waiver for him. Yeah. Not totally above board, but all right. So tonight, T-Flags, $37.50. There's about a $12 to $14 profit in there. All of that profit goes directly to the Culture Initiative. Also at the Spirit Shack, we've got Templeton football sweatshirts available. You got Templeton football on the front, the American flag on the back. It's going to be chilly, so make sure you bring enough spending money to buy one of those. Spectators, 2 per athlete. We'll cover that again shortly. But Mr. Mack, anything before I let you go?
No, I'm just waiting to see how Trent does on your show, because people get nervous getting on your show. You know,
Gosh,
it's tough.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, Mr. Mack. Well, I'm sure I'll talk to you 800 times before the game tonight.
You bet. Okay. See you then.
See ya.
Bye.
All right. That's Matt McFarland. He is the activities director and the ASB advisor for Templeton High School. That guy devotes every waking moment of his day to make sure that our kids have the best opportunities available to them at school, and just gives them such a great experience. Well, he and the entire staff, obviously. But hey, at this time, it's 7:46. We're going to let into the show Mr. Greg O'Sullivan and Jeff English. How are you guys?
Hey, Greg O'Sullivan here, doing fine. It's hard to follow Matt McFarland. I'll echo everything you just said about him. I hope he's still on. Actually, I hope he's not, because I don't need to feed his ego anymore. But
Right.
Both my daughters were in his leadership class over when he was at the middle school, and he is the heart and soul of the Spirit. He's been the consistency of the school as long as I've been involved in the school district, and I was involved for 10 years way back when. And in fact, I want to show my vintage sweatshirt, the Templeton vintage. That's vintage right there.
That's awesome. Look at
vintage
that.
is a word that us old people use, so we don't call it old. But Jeff's having a hard time getting on. He says he's going to continue to try. But anyway, we can go ahead and move on with the information that we have to present to you today, Mike. So thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm excited because, you know, I'm a Bearcat. I grew up in Paso, and
I'm sorry.
I've got to be honest. As a kid, we never went to Templeton. Like I went to Templeton once a year when I got good grades. My parents would take me to this real fancy restaurant called AJ Spurs. Like that was the extent of my visits to Templeton. We just never went into town. Moving out after high school, coming back 20 years later, my wife and I planted in Templeton with our kids. And I've got to be honest, Templeton is an amazing place. The community is, it's a gem. It's really one of those last great small towns in California. And it's just, the community together is just super supportive of each other. Everybody watches each other's backs. We have a great history. We had some Templeton history quizzes, that we did a couple weeks ago here on the show, learning a little bit about the history of Templeton. So I'm excited to have you on because I really want you to just dive into what you guys do as the Templeton Historical Society, but also, please feel free to share any tidbits of history that you have about Templeton that we may not know.
Well, we don't have an hour today, so maybe you can have us back to go over more of it.
Absolutely.
We got some bullet points we'll put together to be sure that we cover the basics. But I can go on and on about Templeton. I personally moved here in '98, and the Templeton then was only 3,500 people, and that included rural Templeton. So you can see how much we've grown just since '98.
Sure.
So it is a great town and a great school district. Both my daughters went through here, kindergarten through high school. And I pointed out that I could name a bunch of teachers that are great. In fact, we have a new board member that will probably be coming on in April if our general membership votes are, and that's going to be Laura Brooks, formerly Laura Lau. Laura Brooks grew up here, K through 12. Went away for school, came back and taught here and retired here as a principal of Vineyard Elementary School. So his history is pretty well grounded here. But anyway, I just want to say we had our board meeting. We meet once a month. And we have agreed last night that we are going to reopen the museum on April 30th, which is good news. We have been dark for about 4 months. We opened for about a month and then had to close again. So for those that want to visit us, that's on a Friday through Sunday, 1 to 4. And we can make special appointments. You can visit our website at templetonmuseum.com. And there's a link there to our email, and they can request if they have a special group they want to come. Docents available, that is. But Templeton, as we know it today, was founded in 1886. And the reason why it was really founded is because the train stopped here for 3 years. There was actually a turntable right behind where the museum is currently, where the train was actually turned around and headed back north to San Francisco. And the first passenger train arrived in November 20th, 1886. And the town was a booming town until, of course, the railroad decided, okay, we're now moving to Santa Margarita, and the town declined as fast as it expanded. And so we have a lot of historical artifacts to show people as they come into the museum. Something that as you're just getting off the Templeton School District through Matt McFarland, we restored a 1932 Templeton school bus. If you've not seen that, it is a fantastic restoration. There's a whole history in itself about that school bus, where it was. It was basically in a field, dead. And when we bought the blacksmith shop about 7 years ago, it came with the blacksmith shop. Bob Tulloch had donated that also. And it really was, it's like, we don't want this thing. It's a piece of junk.
So I had the pleasure of going down there. I believe it was on a Thursday or one of the days where the gentlemen all are working on it. I think it's Tuesdays or Thursdays. I don't remember.
Thursdays, yes.
Thursdays, yeah. Chuck Jennings invited me to go down there. I attend church with Chuck, and so he took me down there. I got to tour it and look at that bus and watch them working on it. It's absolutely gorgeous.
It's unbelievable how they transformed, and every nut, every bolt is exactly the way it was supposed to be. It's beautiful. So that's something that we have at the museum that people see. We have a 1927 Model T that has about 700 original miles on it.
Is that the one that's in the picture on your website?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yep, that one right there.
Yeah, that's cool.
And we have a 1942 fire truck that belonged to the Templeton Fire Department. Each of these, by the way, vehicles have a story that we can't share here, but we could do a 15-minute segment later on just on one of these about it. It's pretty exciting. currently, we're restoring a Model T fire truck that was just recent. We just accepted the donation 2 weeks ago. It's in pieces.
Wow.
So once everybody feels comfortable about getting back together, they will start restoring that. We also have an old carriage that was donated. You mentioned AJ Spurs. You know that AJ Spurs was sold, and
Yep.
there's some entrepreneurs that are going to resurrecting that, and they donated an old carriage that was actually built by in the old sales yard by the Doty family.
Okay.
And that's pretty close to being restored. All of those items I just mentioned are on display when we open up the blacksmith shop, which is typically only once a year, and that's Frontier Days in Founders Day in November.
Okay.
One of the things that we were donated was if you've seen the movie No Country for Old Men,
Oh yeah.
Josh Brolin was in that movie.
Mhm.
And there's a very short segment of the movie where he's walking into Mexico, and he's acting like he's drunk because he's just been beat up, and he passes these kids that are coming back into the USA, and he gives them $20 for the jacket he's wearing because he wants to look rough. He put the jacket on, and lo and behold, that jacket is a Templeton Eagles jacket
I
because
love it.
his kids went to Templeton for a while, and he lived in Templeton for a while. So that was donated. Actually, Josh gave that to Jim Fornakis, and Jim just in the last year donated it to the museum, and we now have that framed with a movie poster when we open up April 30th for people to see.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, there's stories about every one of these things that I'm talking about. 3 weeks ago, we found an old Selenian grinding stone where they would grind the acorns over on a property that was owned and developed by Woody Woodruff. And we had the Selenian Indians come out and verify that, in fact, it is a grinding stone, and we just moved that to the museum property. So that goes back to pre-1760s when the Selenian Indians were in the area.
Yeah.
Some of the things you can see inside the museum, there's countless. If in fact you have the museum website up, there's actually a virtual tour that we put on our website that you can go to and see some of the things that we don't have time to talk about. But we have the yearbooks that the high school yearbooks that go all the way back to the original yearbook of 1921.
Wow.
And it's just to sit there and look at the history. History for you is the 80s. History for me is the 60s. 1921. There's not a lot of people around that went to high school in 1921.
Right.
But we have that in what we call our schoolroom. We have a trophy, a basketball trophy of the high school team that won it. I think it was in the 50s. But again, I can go on and on and on. I've got a lot of time. I don't know how much time we have, but
we've got about 3 minutes left. I want to pick your brain. So in 1898, there's a fire that burns most of downtown. At the museum, do you guys have photographs of what the old downtown looked like?
We do have photographs. We actually have these very large, I don't know what you call them. They're just very large pages. I mean, they're probably 3 foot by 2 foot. And each page has pictures and stories in it that you can flip through and see all that. I don't know, but I was the fire chief here for 12 years in Templeton.
Oh, okay.
So there was prior to my retiring, I put together the book on the history of the fire department, which has a lot of the stories the burning down of the Templeton is one of those stories. And we also, by the way, among many other things that we sell there, we have a book called The End of the Line. It's a composite of original Templeton families and their stories put together by Carla and Woolhoyt, 2 of the really founding members of the museum and members of this community for years and years and years. Both of those are great keepsakes and interesting reading about the history of Templeton.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Wow.
I got to put one more thing in here, and that is we have these DVDs that can be checked out at the museum where we have interviewed people. Starting back, Bob Miller did this back of Miller Drilling back in 1997, and where we have interviewed people that have been in Templeton for a long time, and they reflect on growing up in Templeton. Those DVDs could be played on any DVD player, and they're available to be checked out at the museum again once we open on April 30th.
And so when you open on April 30th, what are going to be the hours and the days?
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay.
1 through 4.
1 through 4. And if people want to get involved and be a part of the Historical Society and donate or volunteer on the website, I put the link down there, but I'm sure there's a spot where they can contact you or join or volunteer, right?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, as you can imagine, you look at the wrinkles in my skin, and I'm one of the younger guys. And so we do need younger people to come in and take on some of the task and just be involved, because it is so interesting on the history. So on the website, there is a membership. It's only $15 a year. We put out a newsletter quarterly. We have quarterly meetings where we have guest speakers come. They can also, we have what we call a wall of honor. I don't know whether you've, I'm sure, I mean, you've been to the football stadium. You have those bricks on the wall.
Yeah.
You know, of people's name. Well, we have something very similar at the museum. People could buy a brick to honor somebody, either living or dead, or promote their business. Both of those forms could be procured, both a membership form and a wall of honor form, on our website.
Okay. That's awesome. And so the link to the website is templetonmuseum.com. Greg O'Sullivan is going. Do you hold an office there? You're the president.
I'm the current chair of the board.
You're the chairman of the board over at the Templeton Historical Society. Okay. Well, it's 8 o'clock. Greg, we are going to have you guys back. I want Jeff to connect with us. But yeah, I mean, we could do, once a month, a segment on different items at the Historical Museum. Yeah, I think. Especially for the younger generation, it is important that we preserve our heritage and, really tell the story of what this town is all about. And so I love what you're doing over there. I think that's awesome. And I really appreciate you taking the time to be with us today.
Mike, let's set this up for that monthly get together. Mike, what you're doing, what you started here, I hope it works out, because I think the community clearly needs what you're doing.
Hey, I'd be open to even going and doing the show from the museum at some point. I think that'd be a blast.
I'm going to hold you to it.
Please do.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Greg. All right.
Okay.
Go Eagles.
Bye-bye. Okay.
See ya. All right. That's Greg O'Sullivan, Templeton Historical Society. It's super awesome. I can't wait. April 30th, they open up. They're going to be open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so, yeah, I mean, I think it'll be really cool to get down there and check that out. So Greg O'Sullivan, thanks again for coming on the show. Jeff, sorry we couldn't connect with you, but we will and make sure that we get it done again. Anthony, we're going to check in with Anthony real quickly. I've got Trent Wills in the waiting room. He's going to talk Templeton baseball. My stepson is going to give us the lowdown as to what's going on. Anthony, how are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing well. Just a real quick thing about Greg O'Sullivan. I don't know if he remembers me, but I remember when I lived in Templeton, and I was in grade school and elementary school, and he was still the fire chief. I remember that he stopped me or saw me or something, and I was palling around with one of my friends and all that, and I didn't have a helmet on. He actually asked me where my helmet. So, and I was so scared because I didn't have an answer. I didn't know if he was a cop or whatever, but I just told him I didn't have it. So Greg, if you remember me, so it was great to see you this morning. So I hope you're doing well. So
that's awesome. Very cool. Yeah. What a small town, huh?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So
I did go to school with his daughter Paige. So
okay.
yeah.
Very
so
cool.
I have some ties with him. So yeah. It's all good.
All right, Anthony, you run Paso Robles Incident and Actions. It's a Facebook page that's a community service that you put out. You kind of real time update the community as to what's going on in the North County. Any headlines? Anything we need to know real quickly before we jump into baseball?
Nothing going on this morning, which is a good thing. I did in the first hour give a shout out to Christina Favuzzi of KSBY, who had her last day today on KSBY's Daybreak in the morning.
Where is she going?
She's going to Montecito Fire Department in Santa Barbara County. She's
Wow.
going to be the public information officer, and so KSBY did a nice tribute to her this morning for her 6 years of service to them. So just
Awesome.
a shout out to her and her newest endeavors.
Very cool. All right. Well, we wish her luck, and we will check back in with you at 8:55.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Thanks, Anthony. We'll see you.
All right.
All right. That's Anthony Reed, Paso Robles Incidents and Actions. And now it's the moment everybody's been waiting for. Let's talk Templeton baseball with my stepson, Mr. Trent Wills. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you, Dad? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. You do not want me as a dad. Trust me. You can ask Noel.
Yeah.
So, okay, tell me about your senior year. Here we are thinking, we're not going to have baseball. We're not going to play sports this year. All the kids kind of, lax a little, start getting the dad bod going. You're not really working out as hard because there's nothing to work out for. And then all of a sudden, bam, we're playing baseball. Is that you, or did you kind of maintain working out and staying fit and getting ready?
I tried my best to stay over quarantine, like just working out with a couple of my buddies' dads, getting hacks in every time I could. A lot of kids didn't, and it's kind of starting to show right now because, we had our first game and we've been practicing for 2 months, and a lot of kids are like, "Oh, my arm's
Right.
getting a little sore. My arm's getting a little sore." It's just without that habit of throwing just about all day, every day, it kind of gets to you pretty quickly.
Yeah, how's the squad look? You guys, a lot of returners this year?
Yeah, we do. It's a senior-based team this year for sure. But
Okay.
it's pretty good. We've been waiting a long time for this team to happen. So,
And
It's
you
a lot.
guys have all pretty much grown up together and played together your whole life, right?
yep.
So cool. And I should know this. Are you a middle infielder? What position you play?
Right now, I'm playing first base because I have a little bit of a problem in my shoulder. But usually, I'll play outfield or pitch. But
Oh,
right now,
okay.
first base.
Awesome. So what'd you do to your shoulder?
I actually, when I pitched, I put my arm too far behind my back every time when I threw, and I got a slight tear in my labrum.
Mhm.
Which connects all of my muscles to my shoulders. So
And,
that part is not feeling too great.
and does that affect your batting at all, or just your throwing?
Just my throwing. So I can
Okay.
bat and do all that.
Well, that's a bummer. So you're obviously not throwing anybody out at home.
No.
That sucks. Oh man. Okay, so tell me, you guys, what's on the agenda? What do you have lined up here in the next week or so? What games are you looking forward to? Any predictions? What do you think?
Saturday is a big game at 11 o'clock in the morning. We play Morro Bay, and usually Morro Bay is always a tough contender, but they're supposed to be pretty darn good this year. So we're excited to play them, and especially at home, we're going to be on the home field playing Morro Bay, and it's always fun with them. So
That's cool. And is it a doubleheader or is it just one game?
just one game.
Okay. All right. So who's on the mound? Did
Robbie.
they announce it?
Robbie Lardner.
Okay. And Robbie's a lefty, right?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right, so Robbie's on the mound. That's tomorrow at 11 o'clock at the Vineyard Elementary School, the field in the back. The rules are two. I lost it. Hold on. I think it's two people per player there, but I think it's live stream too. They set up the camera yet?
I'm not sure. They should.
Okay. I think I'll check it out to make sure that I'm speaking correctly. But okay, so you guys have a big schedule. There's 30 something games, right?
Yeah, we're gonna
And-
be having like 2 to 3 games a week. Just not.
And how many games have we done so far? One, two, one. Okay. Yeah. So a lot of baseball left. You guys are practicing pretty much every day that you're not playing. I did see there was some construction done on the field over the weekend. You guys rebuilt the mound. You were out there, right?
Yeah, me, Robbie, Kiko, and Ryan. We're all out.
Okay.
My dad and Ryan's dad.
And your dad was out there. Yeah. Very cool. So
Yeah.
you guys basically took that mound, the hump, down to flat and rebuilt the entire thing.
Yeah, we dug out all the clay, the mound, everything, and then Ryan got some really nice clay, and we built it from the bottom up. And it's a beautiful mound now. I'm so stoked to.
That's awesome. Are you kind of bummed that you don't get to throw off of it?
Yeah, big.
Yeah.
They were taking like their first throws, and I was like, I just want to have just one throw.
Yeah.
But
And then Robbie's gonna screw it all up. Great. Yeah. No. So cool. All right. So what do you think your strongest points are as a team this year? Is it your defense? Is it your offense? What do you guys think?
right now, I think our defense is pretty solid, especially just all around defense. Actually,
Mhm.
we get the small plays done. We get them done easily, and so that's like huge for us. Just to constantly have that no brainer, easy play every time. It helps out.
Yeah, good. And then I have to ask this question: growing up in Templeton, are you a Bay Area guy or are you a SoCal baseball fan?
Bay Area.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't say Giants.
Oh, I'm gonna say Giants.
Oh wow! Actually, the Giants have an awesome organization, beautiful baseball field. But I'm a lifelong Dodger fan myself. But that's a fun rivalry, right?
Oh my gosh, it's the best. Especially my big tall best friend's also a Dodgers fan, dude. We always butt heads about that stuff.
That's awesome. That's so cool. So Morro Bay, is that your biggest rival?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this is going to be a good game tomorrow.
It's gonna be a great game. I'm so
That's
excited for it.
super exciting.
Yeah.
So cool. All right. What is the lineup out yet? Do you know what you're batting or is it pretty stable all the time?
It's kind of stays the same, but as of last game, I'm hitting leadoff, and pretty sure Connor's right behind me. Then it goes Robbie, Merrick, and then Gavin.
Okay.
Since he's behind that.
And who's the fastest on the team? Is it you?
No, Robbie's the fastest by a long.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. He gets those long legs moving.
Really?
Yeah, his home to home running all the way around is ridiculously fast.
Wow. You guys have a tall team too. You got Robbie and Will.
Yeah.
Who else? Even Ryan's got some height on him now.
Yeah, Ryan. But after that, it kind of drops pretty steep.
Yeah.
Me, Gavin, Merrick, yeah.
So what are your plans after high school? What are you doing?
I'm trying to go play JUCO baseball. I'm kind of just trying to fill out my arm first, though, because I was planning to go for either pitching or outfield. So kind of just on the fence about that right now.
Are you going to stay local or are you going to try to go somewhere else?
If I do go somewhere else, it'll probably be just in Nevada. So probably stay pretty close, but if not, I'll be in Nevada.
Awesome. Well, I want to have you on, if we can get you on next week to kind of give us a weekly update. That'd be awesome if you're up for it.
Oh, for sure, dude. This was a fun time.
Yeah, I mean, I asked Coach Tompkins to join me, but he's not taking me up on it yet. So
I'll talk to him about it. I'll talk to him.
Yeah, you might have to represent there.
Got you.
Awesome. Well, Trent, I appreciate you coming on today, and good luck tomorrow. Take care of that arm. Trust me, as a 43-year-old dad, if you don't take care of your body, you're going to be hurting. Funny story about Noel, right? Noel played baseball when he was little, stopped playing for 5 years, 6 years, and then decided he wanted to start throwing again last year before COVID. And so I dusted off the old mitt and, the old lefty got out in the field with him and was throwing the ball, and I screwed up my shoulder.
Oh.
And this is like last February, literally still hurts to take my shirt off. Like, so I'm like, okay, I'm old,
Oh my
but,
goodness.
yeah. And then you've probably heard the story. I've told it before, but I was a left-handed pitcher for Paso. I christened the field, right? The field at the high school there in Paso. I was the first year that we had it open. I was on the varsity team, and I have the honor of being the first pitcher to ever get a home run hit off them on that field. And so we
for the rest of your life. You hold on to that.
we were playing South Bakersfield, and no lie, this dude was like 6'9", 280 pounds. He was monster. And I just, I throw super slow. I was like throwing low 70s, like not fast at all, right? And I just kind of lobbed one in there, and the dude just took it like straight over center field, cleared the snack bar, like out almost to Niblick Road, it felt like. I mean, he just crushed it. And my teammates never let me live that one down. So it was a sad day in my baseball history. So
That's not
yeah. Oh, and then my last practice, my senior year, we were scrimmaging the freshman team. They were kind of scrimmaging with us at practice, and they were hitting off tees, right? We were just doing defensive drills. They were hitting off tees. I was on the mound. My coach calls my name, and I turned to look at the dugout. And right when he did that, this freshman kid hits the ball off the tee and just comebacker right in the forehead, drills me, and I got a concussion. And that's probably why I am the way I am now. Protect your head and always watch where the ball is. That's the lesson learned.
Yeah.
All right, Trent. Well, happy Friday. Good luck tomorrow, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Trent Wills, Templeton Baseball. Funny story. Melissa, how are you?
I am so good, man. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Sorry to hear about your shoulder.
Oh, dude, it's like, it still hurts. So Trent went snowboarding with my kid, and they needed, because he was under 18, they needed somebody to sign off, right? And so it had to be a family member. So we may have told a fib and said I was his stepdad, and I signed the waiver. But so now the ongoing joke is that's my stepson. Trent. Great kid, huh?
Yeah, he's a good kid, man. He's a good one. I may or may not be a few kids' legal guardian around here,
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so real quick, I want to get some business out of the way.
Let's roll.
And then we're going to invite somebody in who I think you know. So are you still looking for umpires?
We are. We definitely are. Training tomorrow, 10 a.m. at Evers. And it'll be me and Ken doing the training. It'll take like 2 hours. If you know anything about ball, you can do this. It's girls softball. It's a good time. 10
a.m. Evers tomorrow. Umpires. And so they make between $30 and $50 a game?
Yeah. So the lowest rate is, because we have to pay by the hour. So the lowest rate is $15 an hour, but we guarantee a 2-hour game. Even if it doesn't take you that long, you have to get there, set up, get prepped, do a little post-game stuff. So yeah.
Here's a hint. Umpires out there, call balls. Get lots of walks. That'll make the game go longer, and you make more money that way.
You gotta have really thick skin if you're only gonna call a ball, bro.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I would love to see the kid that figures that out. Like, wait a minute.
Totally.
If I stretch this game out, I'm gonna make more money. I love it. Oh yeah.
That's amazing.
And there's no spectators, right? So there's no parents to yell at them.
That's exactly it, right?
Oh man, we used to get like the stands at high school baseball would go nuts on these umpires, just absolutely. And you know who was the worst? Coach Alvord's dad.
Yep.
Yeah.
The oldest person there is usually the
he would sit there and just in the ear of the umpire the whole game. It was good
classic.
Time. Okay, so what else is going on? What other announcements do you have for the Parks and Rec?
Okay, what else is going on? We are hosting a Clutter to Cash community-wide garage sale. Get signed up for that April 24th. It's free. You just host it at your place. We put out a map, I think the Wednesday before. So what is that, the 21st? Mm-hmm. And everybody comes to your place because we help facilitate that. So get signed up. It's on the website, templetoncsd.org. flag football for the summertime. Signups are open, so jump on the website for that as well. Let's get the kids signed up for flag. I don't know what tackle is going to look like this year. I haven't talked to those guys yet. They're typically involved in sort of a recruiting thing for our summer program. So I need to get a hold of those guys and see what the plan is. Some of the guidelines or the requirements for tackle football specifically are a little brutal. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna see how they're going to manage that, because I'd love to see that program succeed this year. So
I'm wondering what the other cities are going to do as well.
well, that, I always say that, right? It's all well and good for me to put together a team. Usually we can. I got to have someone to play against, right? And
absolutely.
preferably more than one other team. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
What else is happening? We've got, community cleanups happening. If you ever want to get involved in cleaning Templeton, keeping it free of litter and debris, keeping the trash out of the waterways, hit me up. We've got a new program, Adopt a Spot, working with EcoSlow. So we've got equipment for you to wander around town first weekend of the month, and we'll secure a special location for you, like where your kid dumps all the trash, and and we'll get you all sorted out with that for picking up trash. Softball games start soon, dude. I'm so excited. I've been live streaming all the high school games. Oh my gosh, there's so much awesome happening in Templeton. It's really exciting.
Yeah, there's a rumor that there's going to be a big party, a parking lot party tonight.
No, that would be shocking.
Right outside the fence. Yeah, these kids are rebels. Oh.
Yeah, I remember one time I'm closing down basketball games, and the kids, there was I think the girls varsity had made it into the championships or maybe it was the semis for CIF, right? This was a few years ago. And I'm closing down the gym, like helping transition for the next games, right, for the high school. And I go outside, and in the parking lot, no joke, a bunch of kids are playing what looks like beer pong. So of course I go over and I'm like, dude, I'm the reigning champion. What are we doing, guys?
Yeah.
It was all water. Thank goodness. Oh my gosh. Scared me for a hot second. Like, you're doing this at school, guys.
Yeah.
It was like 6 years ago. None of your kids were involved. I'm sure of it.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Our kids were tucked away in bed, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. Well, they were getting ready for their U10 soccer game or something.
Right,
So
exactly.
They just finished up the championship, for basketball. So.
Hey, so you're related to number 6, right? Josh Berna?
Number 6, that's the Deuce. He's my second-born nephew.
Yes,
he is.
Second-born nephew. Okay.
Yes, he's my favorite. But if you ask the nephews, they're all my favorite. I tell them all.
Exactly. Hey, somebody else that's related to Mr. Josh Berna is this guy. Do you know Mike Brenner?
Hi, say Mikey.
Hey, how you doing, Annie Mill?
I am so good, Mike. How are you doing, Opa?
Good. You
Awesome.
guys can hear me okay? My sound's on okay?
You sound great. Well, you sound old, but you sound good.
Well, yeah. Well, I feel old too. So.
Well,
Are we
it was
supposed
his
to do
birthday.
that?
the
Are
other
we
day.
supposed to do that introductory thing that I've seen on Stephen Colbert?
Huh?
1, 2, 3. Let's set up your sound and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, yeah, there you go. You're good. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So you did have a birthday the other day. You got the whole stadium, the limited capacity stadium, got to sing to you. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. That was a nice touch. And then for me, the bigger issue was the birthday present. I got to be on the sideline, taking the photographs and watching Josh play. So that was fantastic.
Yeah. Are you going to be around long enough to watch the other kids take the field here in a few years?
Troll.
Hey, that's what canes are made for.
Exactly. There you go. That's awesome.
The other glasses here.
We could mount the tripod to your wheelchair.
Hey, good idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Patent that.
Right? Oh man. Okay. So how are you guys related? Explain this weird circle of relationship here.
Well, my son-in-law is Melissa's brother or sister. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And
My brother married his daughter.
Got it.
yeah, is that the way it works?
Yeah, my brother and your daughter.
That's it. Your brother.
Then we get
my
Nick,
daughter.
Josh, Tobin, and Nolan out of the deal.
They're the Bernas.
Awesome. Okay.
So,
Very cool. Fantastic. Well, cool. Melissa, we're gonna get to know Mike. You're welcome to hang out, or you can jump off. I don't know what you got going on this morning. You're probably
we're gonna have a quiz. I might win.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I'm to be honest, I'm hosting something for a conference for the California Park and Rec Society, so it's good timing for me to dip out. So
Oh, that sounds fun.
right on. But I'm gonna put Mikey on in the background because I love watching this guy talk.
Perfect.
Bye, Andy Mel.
All right, I'll see you later, Mikes.
You
Make good
bet. We'll
choices,
see you.
guys.
We'll see you soon.
Bye. All right, that's Melissa Johnson from the Templeton Parks and Rec Department. And now, Mr. Mike Brenler, you are on with me exclusively. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. Just hung my Templeton game day flag out in front of the house.
Yeah, that's
I
so
live
cool.
in Tascadero, so it's kind of sacrilegious, I guess, but
Right?
that's all right. Hey,
Oh, man.
I'm running the green on the front of my house today.
Yeah, so I've known you since I was 11 years old. So you're pretty much family. I consider you one
Yeah.
of my long lost uncles. When we moved back to Templeton, it was exciting to get to know that you were on the sidelines and your oldest grandson, the first Berna, was going through the system, and now we have Josh, your second oldest grandson, going through, and he's quite the player, huh?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Nick was a great offensive lineman. And, it's all about chemistry. And, the team wasn't as strong then when Nick was playing, which was, 2016, 2017, I think. He was an O-line and D-line. He's a big kid. He's so he held his own. But then in 2016, when Josh was playing the youth football for Templeton, I knew that when I was taking photographs then as well, and I knew that team, when they reached the varsity level, if all of them played and reached the varsity level, I knew that was going to be a very formidable team, very formidable. In fact, and This shirt here has the names of the players on that 2016 senior youth football team, and so many of the same kids you hear about now. They were very very talented and very determined bunch of kids.
And that was
kids, young men.
And that was Randy Doty. That was the coach of those kids.
Right? Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, you had Chase Richards was on that team, Josh Berna, Anthony Fisher, Jake Stillsley, Tyler Kacheski, Justin Curl. Let's see. Carell, rather. I'm sorry. And let's see. Cody Blankenship, Mason Barber, and Cameron Elisararis. I always have trouble pronouncing his last name.
Elisararis.
Yeah.
Elisararis. Yeah.
And then,
Awesome.
Randy Doty, Arnold Del Rio, Clint Blankenship, John Mendez, Daniel Williams, Joe Richards, Andy Hogg, and J.R. Branch. They were the coaches. So I just, that sits in my closet, and I always remember that team and how I knew then that they were going to be something to contend with. And they were last year, certainly, as juniors. Those young men, they kicked some butt.
Yeah, what a season, huh?
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was
incredible.
wonderful.
And we had the pleasure of having the entire season captured in still photos by you. And so that was what a gift to the community that you give on a weekly basis. I mean, these kids, you should see them on Saturday mornings. They are refreshing their parents' Facebooks, and my son, Noel, got on Facebook last year specifically just to get your pictures downloaded, right? And so, these kids just wait every weekend for your pictures to come out. That's a lot of pressure on you to edit.
Well, yeah, it's a chore sometimes, because I take so many, and then I want people to know that I'm not like this. I'm not Ansel Adams.
Right.
My theory is I'll just take as many pictures as I can, and out of that, I'll probably have a quarter of those pictures that are going to be that I'll be able to enhance and then crop, post, and that's the way I ride on that issue. And I have had some pretty nice pictures. I lucky to catch a lot of good action. Like this last week, I was kind of miffed because I missed Mason Barber on the. Oops, did I lose you? Oh no,
I'm pulling up your pictures.
I missed Mason Barber when he got that 2-point conversion, and I was having a little bit of trouble with my camera. I think because of the weather. It was wet, and it faulted a few times, and so you sometimes you miss the greatest of all pictures.
Well, yeah, it's tough, right? Because you want to watch the game too.
Yeah.
And so you have the hardest job there, watching your grandson play while you're trying to capture all of these photos. And I can imagine.
Well, I got a pretty good seat behind that viewfinder. It's a good seat. You trust me in that regard.
I saw you started experimenting with the video.
Yeah, I said, I want to play with this video aspect of my camera, and they actually came out good. So in fact, I was talking to Malcolm High yesterday and getting some pointers, because that guy, he really knows. He's a great videographer. He's done that for so many years, I think since he was in college, and he really knows his stuff in that regard. And so I was getting some pointers from him and talking about how to frame some of the shots and things like that. I really wish he was out there doing some videography himself. I think he would love to do it, and it would help us capture some great stuff that we had like last year. Rene Vasquez, who he's a videographer, and he graduated from St. Joe's, and he came in and he did a lot of the video for us. I think he was originally hired by Tyler Kaczewski's family.
Okay.
And I asked him, listen, if you'll shoot capture as much video as many guys as you can, would love to put something together at the end of the year. And that's what we did. And it really, Malcolm edited it, and it came out so good. You saw that last year.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And,
so Malcolm's up in the press box with me doing the huddle video, but I agree with you. I'll talk to him, and I know Coach Crow's kind of relying on him to help me because I'm the newbie. But yeah, I think that if we can get that second camera shooting some video, there's going to be some great moments captured in the next 6-7 weeks, right?
I think so. So. And I'd love to have Malcolm down there doing some video because, like I said, I'll try to do my best. I'll try to capture as much stuff as I can, but I'm no match for Malcolm's talent. He knows those cameras, the video cameras, and system backward and forward.
Hey, so I want to talk real quick, and you're not going to want me to talk about this, but I do want to talk about you, the human, right? Mike Brendler, the person, is a retired law enforcement, spent your entire career in public serving, in the form of either a paid public servant or as a person donating their time, right? As the former mayor of Atascadero.
Right. Don't remind me of that.
That was a long time ago. Yeah. But in addition, you've spent your retirement years giving back to Templeton and the community and the football community specifically.
Right.
You do a lot for the program. I know you in the form of monetary donations, in the form of making sure these kids have the best safety equipment possible. I mean, there's things that you do behind the scenes that nobody knows about. And I want to make sure that people do know that, not because I want them to pat you on the back or whatever, but it's important because you're setting a great example for the kids and for the community. And so I just want to say thank you for doing that. And now, also in terms of what you're doing, this is a public service, what you do. The fact that you spend your time on the sidelines taking these pictures, you're not doing it so you have a hard drive full of photographs when you go to your grave. You're doing it to capture these kids' memories for their families. Like that's a pretty awesome thing that you're giving them.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, it's something that should be noted that you are just doing a great service for everybody. So thank you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I really enjoy it. There's a selfish motive involved as well. I mean, I love taking pictures of my grandkids to capture, their sports programs. I've taken them for the recreation department too. I've taken for some youth soccer, for instance. And I enjoy it. And I suspect that parents, grandparents, and the players that they enjoy those captured moments as well.
For sure. Yeah.
And and to point out, somebody was asking me one time if they could pay me for my photographs. And I said, absolutely not. I said, those are for the families and for the kids. It's their photo, and the school. That's their photographs, as far as I'm concerned. Just happen to be, on my external hard drives and what have you. And then they migrate over to Facebook. But those photographs are for the community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I this one in particular, I'm glad you captured. It's a picture of my son standing next to the coach. So that's documented proof that he's trying to kiss up to the coach right there.
Yeah. I hope Noel gets a little playtime this week. They need to get some of our freshmen, our younger players, freshmen, sophomores, because next year's going to come quick.
Yeah, he
take some snaps.
He got cleared, so he has been practicing in pads all week, so that's good. So we'll see. I'd rather have him, make sure that he's 100% and feeling good.
Oh yeah.
But I'm just scrolling through all these photos. Just awesome. And you've done other events besides football too for the high school, right? You went out.
Oh yeah.
What did you do? Any baseball or softball?
Baseball, softball, soccer.
Okay.
I've photo track.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's why I have so many pictures. I mean, I was shocked the other day when one of the parents asked me if they could use some of my pictures for, of the seniors, kind of do something for the seniors. And I said, let me root around through some of my older photographs and catch some of the kids that are seniors, young men that are seniors this year. And and that's when I realized how many photographs I've taken. Wow.
Yeah, they asked me to put together the senior slideshow, and so I think those photographs are going to make their way to my computer, so I can use them in that slideshow.
That'd be great.
All right, so enough about you. Let's talk Templeton football. What's your prediction for tonight? What are you concerned about? What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, we have a pretty solid team. I think our secondary is hopefully we can shore that up a little bit, but our O-line and D-line are fantastic. I mean, that's, when Tyler and Josh, they get a lot of yards, but there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
It's because we got guys on that O-line, that are blowing lanes open. And, and Josh in particular is really great to read when he can read a lane open. And he can see the crease, and he'll cut into it, and away he goes. And Tyler's more of a power runner, but together, I think it was in the paper or something, they called him the 1-2 punch. Last year, I think they called him the Thunder and Lightning, and so I get that. Yeah, they are a formidable group in the backfield there. But so I think we're going to be in good shape against Morro Bay, but you know how that old saying goes: it's which horse comes out of the gate.
Yeah, for sure.
Which horse is coming out of the gate, and I think our past record is 7-7 against Morro Bay.
Yep,
something like that.
7-7, and we won the last one.
Yeah, that was a big big to do. Yeah. Our guys got a little silly at the end, and I chastised them a little bit. It's enjoy the win, but don't rub it in.
Yeah. Well, the fans get into it too.
Yeah.
It's a kind of all of it builds up to that, right?
Yeah.
And those emotions run high.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, my
on the-
theory is always, always respect the courage of your opponent.
Sure, absolutely. Unless it's USC.
Oh, okay. Okay. You got me. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So,
Oh, I'm a big Notre Dame fan.
yeah, people might not know this, but that's something that you and I have in common is we're diehard Notre Dame fans,
That's the truth.
and we've had the pleasure of going and watching games together over the years. So that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Also, people might not know, but Mike Brenler is a huge Rams fan, and in 2001, I think it was 01 when the Rams played the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Mike had his Kurt Warner jersey on.
Don't
and
be dissing Kurt Warner.
it was a Kurt Warner jersey, and then we took Post-it notes and changed the word Warner to Wiener, and we put it on his back, and so it was Kurt Wiener that day. It was just a lot of fun, but that was cool to see Tom Brady win his first Super Bowl with you, playing against the Rams, and the rest is history with that guy, right?
That's the truth. That's the truth.
So fun.
He's a great ball player.
Hey, before I let you go, I'm going to share. I've got your Facebook page pulled up. I want to share the picture of your flag that you customized. You bought a Templeton T flag. So here's the flags. They're for sale. They're $37.50. It's a fundraiser for the Culture Initiative. Mike bought one last week. Well, actually, he said he was going to buy it, and then his daughter ended up buying it. So
I paid her back. I paid her back.
Okay, good. Yeah. But then you went. Where did you get the iron-on sticker for the number 6?
It was on actually Jenny found them on Amazon, and I put a link on my Facebook posting, and you can get a group of the entire number set, 0 through 9.
Yeah. And
then that was like $7.33. If you buy an individual number, it's like $5.
Okay.
And I was having rarely used an iron. My wife will attest to that. I had to be careful in applying it to the flag, but the instructions are there, and if you're patient, you can do that. And it's just kind of a way to personalize the flag to your. I plan, in fact. When season's over, I'm going to plan on putting my other grandson's number 65. He was 65 before Jeff Deskins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, before he took over that number. And this year, Dominic Mackel has it, 65. But I'm going to put that on there too, and that's going to be the flag that I always fly during game days or game week.
Yeah.
In the future years.
That's so cool. Well, that's a neat idea. And so the link to get those iron-ons is on your Facebook page. So people, it's a great way to customize and show your support for your family members. That's great.
Right.
So cool. Yeah. So
my hope is that I think that one of the potential fundraiser ideas would be to have the team members sign the flag, and people can use that in the future on game days to have this signed flag by all the team members of this year's team. Mm-hmm. Just an idea.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That would be actually doing one and then auctioning it off would be a great thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
sure.
There you go. Yeah. I've gotten a couple of helmets in the past years during fundraisers that have been signed by the team. One when Nick was playing, and then another one when Josh, his first year. So that's a great idea.
Well, cool. What time you get into the stadium tonight?
I'll probably start staging around 5 p.m. I would guess. I'm not sure that I think they let you in at 6, but I'll try to get there a little early. Makes it a little easier if I'm on the field. And I like to get warm-ups pictures. I did a lot of those this past week.
Mhm.
And the reason for that is I catch some of the guys, some of the guys that don't necessarily get the play time, but I'll catch some good pictures of them
Yeah.
when they're, fielding the ball or, doing defensive drills and things like that. And that way I can because I like to get as many of the players as I can,
So here's a secret about me. I like to volunteer for a lot of things, but then I'm the guy that just pretends to be doing the work as I'm volunteering. So make sure you capture some shots of me tonight when I'm doing something, so that I can tell the community that I actually volunteer.
Hey, I got some pictures in the past when you're working over the tri-tip pit.
Oh, that's right, the snack bar.
You
Yeah.
better believe it. Yeah,
Well,
you were.
Yeah, Allison devotes so much time. Well, all those girls do. I mean, they are in that snack bar, scrubbing it, cleaning it, and the guys come in and get all the credit because the tri-tip.
Oh yeah. No, I know. There's a lot of effort and love that's put into, that's just a component of the game. The game is much larger than we probably think.
It's just such a community oriented thing, right? And as a kid going through it, you don't think about any of that. All of the things that go into it, but at the end of it, we're all doing it to give those kids the best experience.
Right.
So cool. That's what's special about Templeton, right? It's one of the last great small communities.
Oh yeah, it is. It truly is. And we got a fairly small. We're a smaller school. I mean, last week when we played Wasco, I think Wasco has like 1,700 students.
Wow.
And we're like they're over twice our size. And but we field some good sports programs, and one thing, just like why I like Notre Dame, is because there's a lot of respect for academics.
Sure, absolutely.
That's huge. So
okay, so two last questions, and then I'll let you go. First question: Paso versus Templeton. Never happened before. I'd like to put together some type of trophy, like we have the Clash of the Coast trophy for Morro Bay versus Templeton. My idea was a boot, like a bronze boot or something that we could give back and forth to the schools.
The bronze boot should go to Jake Stillsley.
Right.
He's got the gold, or his actually is a golden boot. That guy, he's so accurate in his kicks.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, bronze boot would be good.
So I'll leave that with you. You can, if you have any ideas of the type of trophy that we can do, what we can call it for the Paso game.
Okay.
I'll spearhead that whole thing and put that together, but I need some help trying to figure out what the trophy is going to be and what we're going to call that rivalry. And then
that game should be a lot of fun. I have great respect for the coach, Matt.
Oh, Matt's great. Yeah.
He was coached for Templeton during many of those years too, and so it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun game.
Yeah, for sure. I can't wait. All right, last thing, prediction for tonight. Score prediction.
Well, it depends. I mean, that's not the easy way out, but depends how much play time some of our younger players get. So I'm going to go. Let's see, 24-7.
Wow, really?
Because I think, and I hope that Coach plays some of our younger guys.
Well, I don't know if it's public information, if I'm allowed to say it, but I'll say it and then probably get in trouble if it's not. But they are going to, at the end of the game, they're going to do what they call a fifth quarter, where each team's going to get 10 plays and they're going to get some of the younger guys out.
Oh, fantastic. I didn't hear this. If that's going down, I think that's great.
Yeah, for each program to get those kids some reps. So that's exciting that they'll be able to do that.
Oh, I think that's fantastic. Yeah, because we don't have not fielding a JV team this year.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a great idea. That's a great idea.
And what was the deal with the kickoff situation last week? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I don't know if it had to do with the weather. Kickoffs on a wet field can be dangerous for the players.
Yeah.
You got one guy running 60 miles one direction, and the other guy, the defender, is running 60 miles
And
the
they just
opposite
wanna-
direction. Something bad can happen.
They want to blow each other up, and then
Yeah.
they
Well, that's how
slip.
Josh, his first year, he was on the special teams, and he broke his collarbone, I think it was, as
Wow.
a freshman. And so I went, I told him, don't be a wild man like that. But I can't, that's his instinct.
Sure. Yeah.
But-
All right. So knowing that we're going to do the fifth quarter, now what's your prediction for the score?
35-7.
Okay. Yeah. So when I was going to say 24 points, I can't remember the last time Templeton only put up 24 points.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Right.
I know. That's why I said it was predicated on the younger guys getting out there and getting some plays. But yeah, what did we get last week? 39.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest game one of the most entertaining games. That was like a basketball game. You remember last year against was it?
Oh, it was the first
St. Bernard's, I think.
the first game, right? It was 67 to something ridiculous.
69 to 61. No, it's 7-point difference. 69-62. I think it was 69-62.
Something like that.
Templeton.
Yeah.
We beat them by 1 touchdown, but man, what an offensive fireworks show.
Yeah, last year was it's one of those once in a lifetime high school scenarios, right? That we were a part of last year at Templeton. That was fun to watch, and I don't know. We'll see what the next few years bring us, but this year's going to be special too. It already is.
Yeah, no, it's special that we even got 1 game.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
So,
well, cool, Mike. I'll see you out there tonight.
I'll be out there.
I appreciate you taking the time to join us, and thanks again for everything that you do for all these kids and their families. Like I said, it's a highlight of a weekend for us to refresh our Facebooks to see your pictures. So thanks.
Right. Well, that's my pleasure. I get immense fun out of doing that, and so I get benefit is for me as well.
Well, all right. We'll see you out there.
Okay,
thanks, Mike.
Take care.
See ya. Bye.
You got your.
All right, that's Mike Brendler. Mike is one of he's the gentleman responsible for taking all of these awesome photos that we see on Facebook of all the players each and every single week. Mike devotes a lot of his time to getting captured those shots and then also editing them. He's also the grandfather of Josh Berna, number 6. And so we thank Mike for everything that he does for our community and for our kids. Really cool that I can, as a parent, watch the game and know that somebody is going to capture those shots. And so I don't have to, but that's awesome. Thanks, Mike, for joining us this morning. We were going to have Shauna Soltero on to talk about soccer, and we were going to talk about the virtual Easter egg hunt. She had some technical difficulties this morning, so it looks like we're not going to get her on, but we'll work to try to get her on next week for sure. It's 8:51 in the morning. This is the Morning Buzz. We thank you so much for joining us today. Today is March 26th, Friday. It's going to be 68 degrees today and sunny, although it looks a little overcast outside right now. Sun setting tonight at 7:19. It's going to be mid-50s during the football game tonight if you're going out to the stadium. Winds are out of the northeast at 3 miles an hour. So it's supposed to be a super nice day today. And we do have some Templeton Eagles football. We're playing Morro Bay. And so that will be the Clash of the Coast. The trophy is up for grabs. It's currently sitting in Coach Crow's football office. Templeton is the holder of the trophy right now. That series is tied 7-7. So that's a fun rivalry. It's always an emotional game. It's always the kids competitive. It's a super competitive game every year, no matter what the records reflect of each program. And so very excited that we get to play Morro Bay tonight. And so in case you're just joining us, if you didn't catch the top of the show, I'm going to kind of replay the board meeting last night. I know lots of questions in regards to what's going on. So I'll play that. I'll finish off the show with that to just kind of kind of bookend the show with that late breaking news. Mindy Hammers texted me. She said, "Hey, make sure that you talk about the banner." And so I'm going to try to pull up that information right now, but let's see here. Pulling it up. Okay, so Templeton High School athletic boosters posted. Let me pull that up so we can look at that. Templeton High School. So Templeton High School Athletic Boosters is put together a fundraiser that is they're selling these banners, and the banners are let's see if I can find it. Templeton High School Athletic Boosters. There we go. All right, I'm sharing my screen right now. All right, so what they're doing is they're selling these banners to raise money to support the boosters. It's another way that they're trying to supplement their income this year, because obviously they're not able to have a regular year of income and support with limited to no spectators. And so they've got these banners that are really cool. Here's an example of what they look like. They're $46 a piece. Buy them for your house or your business. I say Wings Up Templeton, go fight win. There's a link here. It's Templeton-Eagle-Boosters-Club.square.site to purchase the banners. She says they're going to be available today. So if we click on that link, it takes us to the site. Let me just drop this in the chat so you guys have the link to this banner. There you go. It's in the chat right now for you guys to see. So help our Eagles soar by becoming a booster member. 100% of the athletic booster membership fees. Okay, so this is their regular booster site. They've got a bunch of swag on there. This is so cool. They sold out of masks last week, I think. Umbrellas, a ton of umbrellas were sold at the game. These are the cool hats that the girls were wearing. Just all kinds of stuff. And then they've got the banner. And so the banner is $46. You can put it out with your flag. Put it in your on your fence, in front of your business, on the wall, however you want to display it. But it's just another way for you in the community to show your support for Templeton Eagles, the high school athletics. This is a boosters fundraiser, and so very cool. The link to this store, this swag store, is in the chat. So also, if you need any more information on that, feel free to DM me or hit me up, and I will get more information for you. So thanks, Mindy, for reminding me to share that. We appreciate everything that you and the rest of the boosters are doing for these kids. All right, so now it's 8:54, 8:56. Oh, we're running late. Okay, I'm going to bring Anthony Reed in from Pass Robles Incidents and Action. Anthony, how are you, sir?
Doing well. Getting ready to wrap up.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a Friday, so hopefully it's a slow news weekend. I don't want to see too many incidents happening, but anything happen in the last hour?
No, nothing really. It's just a little foggy outside, and that'll hopefully burn off by lunchtime. So hopefully we'll get to see the sun again for the games, at least for the first half of the games tonight on the Central Coast.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, good news. No incidents or actions to report. The roadways are clear, and we will talk to you Monday.
Sounds good to me.
All right, man. Thanks. We'll see you.
All right. We'll see you.
Bye. All right, Anthony Reed, Pass Robles Incidents and Actions. It's a great Facebook page where you can get all of the latest updates of what's going on in and around the county. Anthony comes on 3 times a day to give us kind of news and headlines, anything that we need to know in regards to incidents. So in case you didn't catch the top of the show, I'm going to replay this. This is kind of the gist of how the school board meeting went last night. Let me see if I can get the volume going.
There's no action tonight. Is there a direction we want to take?
Here's what I proposed, right? I said it a couple times. I'll try to get it through it. We are not directing a return to full in person prior to the end of the current school year.
All right. So the board making the announcement right there that they are not directing movement towards the return of in-person instruction before the end of the year. So that was kind of their stance, right? That's the official direction right now, is that they are not moving towards getting these kids back before the end of the year.
We are directing a return to full in person at the start of the next school year and for summer school this summer.
So as of right now, they're moving towards directing in-person learning starting in the summer for summer school and then into next year. That's the action right now, and that's the direction they're going in right now as of today.
And we're also leaving the door open if there are some innovative ideas about how we can use this idea, without causing a major disruption to improve the quality of education.
So there you go. They are leaving the door open, right? Innovative ideas that are going to minimize the disruption. So they are saying as of now, it's not their focus. However, they are leaving it open to continue to explore different innovative ideas that would bring these kids back before the end of the year. What that means, are they going to devote time and energy and staff to coming up with a plan, or are they going to, I don't know what that means. I do know, however, the public comment was overwhelmingly in support of all these kids getting back to in-person instruction this year as soon as possible. Mr. Lewis from the high school spoke out as an advocate for getting back to school. He actually came up with a pretty good idea of getting rid of the cohorts, keeping the schedule the same, but then bringing everybody back. And so the point he made with the kids not being allowed in the football game was by not letting the kids in, we lost the ability to control the situation. So the same thing can be said, right, for the kids not being allowed to be in school together. We want to maximize the amount of time that we are in control of our children. And so I would think that, getting those kids back to school allows the staff and the faculty the opportunity to control them in the environment that they're in. And so the other things that were brought up were the Assembly Bill SB 98, talking about the law that states that these educators, the districts, have a responsibility to maximize in-person learning. And so I don't know the specifics of that law. I'll get some more information on it over the weekend and share some more with you. I'll read through it. But that kind of that was some language thrown around last night in terms of, the school could potentially, or the district could potentially be opening themselves up to a lawsuit if, in fact, there are parties that wanted to go down that road. It's citing SB 98 as one of the laws that they're in violation of. So again, I don't know whether or not that's true or what the status of it is. I'm just reporting what was being said. So I'll finish up this here.
Good enough.
Mr. Alcorn, does that sound pretty clear?
Yeah.
Any clarification on that?
You're on the board. Yes.
I'm in agreement. I think that's a very smart way of dealing with it.
Yeah, I agree, especially the final part of it, Trustee Nimick said, to try and utilize this and come up with innovative ways that we can just make everything better, make our product better.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what we'll do then. So so then we're going to move on. I want to thank everyone for their input. There was a lot of input on this. It's a tricky subject, and it's one that is difficult to navigate. And I believe everyone wants what's best, and I'm sure of it. And we will all get there, I'm sure.
So that's it. They are right. Everybody does want what's best. The question is, what is best, right? And so that's the big debate. All right, Friday, March 26th, the Morning Buzz. We are officially done. If you are going out to the football game tonight, remember they've got sweatshirts for sale as a fundraiser at the Spirit Shack. So make sure you take some spending money to buy a sweatshirt. Those are cool. That's it. Happy Friday. Go Eagles. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we will talk to you guys on